A beautiful Saturday here in the city of Columbus, Saturday, the 26th of April, 2025, just 4 days to the end of the fourth month of the 2025th year after the birth of Christ. Welcome on board if you are just joining us. This is Apex One Radio. We are broadcasting from the United States of America, precisely from Columbus, which is the chief city of the state of Ohio in the country's Midwest region. And it is in the Midwest that this great football tournament will be happening come May this year. We're talking about the Midwest Veterans Tournament. And so 12 teams will be vying for that spot, who is going to lift that trophy at the end of the day. That is the question which will be answered on the 25th of May this year. Well, that is what we will be focusing on radio this beautiful Saturday morning. Well, once again, thank you so much. I welcome on board. If you are just joining us on apex1radio.com, then this is your golden opportunity to follow us bit by bit. And if you are one of those who love to watch us on our respective social media handles, then this is the time for you to share the video as you come on. Do that extensively so that our tentacles can reach the four corners of the world, because today it's going to be great information, entertainment, and of course, word of you. Thank you once again for joining us as we continue to get on board and share the video on Facebook and on our YouTube channel extensively. All right. So it's exactly 28 minutes past 10 here in the studio of Apex One Radio in Minnesota. It's exactly 9:28 Minnesota, from where guests in today's edition of Midwest Ball Rolling will be speaking. And so, welcome on board if you are just joining us. All right, so it's exactly 10:28 here in the studio of Apex One Radio. Beautiful weather. It's going to be a bright day here in Ohio's chief city. Shin, bonjour.
Bonjour, Ernest.
Comment ça va?
Ça va très bien et vous?
Et la semaine, c'était comment?
La semaine était très belle.
Mhm.
On avait un très beau climat ici à Columbus.
Mhm.
C'était magnifique.
Mhm.
Il faisait pas trop chaud,
Mhm.
mais bien. On s'est amusé, surtout moi. Je me suis bien amusée pendant cette semaine. C'était formidable.
C'était vraiment formidable. Encore une journée de la radio. All right, so we're going to kick off this edition of Midwest Ball Rolling. Today I'm with my co-host Shin Tebong, who will accompany me on this fifth journey of a series of shows which we have lined up ahead of the 2025 edition of the Midwest Ball Rolling. And so, in today's edition of the show, we will be receiving one other formidable side, which you'll get to discover shortly. But before we get there, if you live in the state of Iowa, then today it's another big day for the Iowa Veterans Soccer Club, who will be organizing a fundraising event tonight. So you're invited to go support that club. They'll be organizing a fundraising event tonight ahead of the 2025 Midwest Veterans Tournament that takes place next month. And that event is going to be tonight, but we are told that it's also going to be a whole day of other activities, including a friendly soccer encounter, which will pit the Iowa Veterans Soccer Club to Coffee FC. That match begins at 3 p.m. Iowa time, which is Central Time, of course. It will be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you live in that state, then you are invited to 4463 East Auckland Drive, Pleasant Hill, IA 50327 at 3 p.m. Central Time for that great debacle that will pit Iowa Veteran Soccer Club versus Coffee FC. Then later tonight, it will be the fundraising event proper, and the address of that event will be 170 NE, perhaps Northeast 41st Street and Kenny IA 50021. The event begins at 7 p.m. and will run through 1 a.m. So we're talking about the Iowa Veterans Soccer Club fundraising event tonight, where families will be uniting through sports. All right, that is the information we got just before we came to the studio for this fresh edition of Midwest Ball Rolling. And in today's edition of the show, we'll be receiving yet another site that is getting set to hit the road for Columbus in May. And they are coming for a kill. They're not coming for a walk in their park at exactly 10:32 here in the studio of Apex One Radio, which should be 9:32 in Minnesota. Let's move over there and say hello to our friends of VetStar, beginning with President Bertrand Monkey. Bertrand, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Ernest.
How are you today?
It's another day, another weekend in April. We can't wait to have some sun and some heat come through for the summer.
So at this time of the year, do you always have the habit of getting up very early in the morning, maybe jogging around for a few minutes before starting the day?
This time of the year for sure, everybody's looking forward to a warmer weather. I usually wake up early on the weekends because you only have like 2 days in the week to do your own stuff. So it's important that you maximize the hours. So wake up early, get a lot of stuff done, and then get back to the routine. Usually weekends is reserved for like kids and family. So
what does it take being a president of a veterans soccer club as popular as Vet Stars of Minnesota?
To be a president of a very, very powerful group such as ours, the Veterans Soccer Club, Vesta of Minnesota, will take, first of all, a lot of patience and dedication. These two things, you have to really be dedicated to do the so many things that you need to do to run the organization. Our organization is really big. Our operating systems are very, very big and complex, that you might look at it as a regular veteran club, but we do have a very, very huge operating style and a lot of activities that you would need to do as a president in order to be able to keep this group like this. You have also to have a very, very level head and very, very open to listen. That way you can make the right decisions, being more people-centered and more like what your club is looking as a goal.
It's a Herculean task, but you have to be focused and engage a people-centered approach to be able to make it as president of a soccer club as important as the Vet Stars of Minnesota. Shin.
Hello, Mr. Kingsley Ayangin.
Yes.
You're welcome on air.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we are so glad having you. And we would like to know how was your week?
So far my week has been great. Um, as you know, we are a veteran club, and yesterday I was, involved in our trainings, which we do have twice a week. So this morning I'm just home with the kids. But having in mind that yesterday I was out there, exercising and keeping fit and getting ready for the tournament, which is coming ahead of us.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, Mr. Kingsley, what position do you hold in the Vert Star FC for Minnesota?
I'm the vice president of Vesta,
Mhm.
and it's a privilege, to be part of this team, because this team is one of the biggest in the national veteran, and my role as VP, is to assist my president, Mr. Bertrand, to achieve his goals, achieve his vision,
Yeah.
and also to assist him when he's not there. So um, being the vice president is an honor.
Yeah. Effectively.
Great. His name is Kingsley Ayangim. Kingsley is the vice president of the Vet Stars of Minnesota. Bertrand Munki, who is also joining us on the show, is the president. Both members of the Vet Stars of Minnesota are here to tell us just how prepared they are for the 2025 edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament that kicks off in Columbus on May the 23rd this year. And so 12 teams, one trophy, and a city ready to explode with excitement. That is the city of Columbus that will be hosting this year's edition of the tournament. The 2025 Midwest Veterans Tournament is rolling in like a thunderstorm, and it's bringing the heat, the hustle, and high stakes soccer. But from the 23rd to the 25th of May, the battlefield will be green with the Warriors. 35 and older will be lacing their boots and, of course, pass all what they can to ensure that the tournament runs smoothly. And so it's not also just going to be a game, it's going to be a revival of legacy, especially for those of them who were involved in active football in the years that passed. So all eyes will focus on Columbus this year with all the anxiety, and the days keep counting down. So preparations keep heating up ahead of the tournament, and every team has one mission: to bring back the trophy home. Home could be Minnesota, home could be Columbus, home could be Kentucky, home could be Iowa, home could be anywhere that has a team that will be representing the states or the city in that competition. I'm talking about Minnesota. In today's fifth edition of the Midwest Ball Rolling, we shine the spotlight on Vet FC, Vet veterans. They will definitely not be coming to Columbus for a child's play. They're definitely coming to play the game and give it all the beauty it deserves. So let's find out from them how prepared the Vet Stars are for this year's edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament. But first, Bertrand, how old is the Vet Stars of Minnesota?
So yeah, Vesta is 10 years old today,
That's a
as
long
of this
time.
year rather.
Hmm.
And it's not easy to get to your 10th birthday.
Mhm.
So sometime this year we will be definitely celebrating our 10-year anniversary, sometime in July. But we 10 years old now. We've been doing this for the past 10 years.
Hmm.
So, what was the main aim of creating this group, the Vet Star FC?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
That what was the purpose of getting or creating the Vet Star FC? That's 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago, just a group of friends, they found the need to stay healthy
Mm-hmm.
by going out every week and playing soccer. It started from this little let's go to get together and just play soccer. Like you guys know, Cameroon is a huge soccer nation, and we all in tune. So that did uh, create, or that was at the origin of this organization, and they gathered in one of our founding members' home and decided to form a club. And the goal again was just exercise, stay healthy, stay together, create a brotherhood where
Mm-hmm.
they could eventually just support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, things have been added, subtracted, and here we are today.
Hmm. Let me move to Kingsley to find out just how much the vet stars interact with the rest of the community.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. So Vetstar, when Vetstar was formed, we are an all-inclusive club. We
Mm-hmm.
were not just Cameroonians. We right up to now we have Nigerians. Involved, and we are doing a lot in the community. We are volunteering in the community. We go out, help to distribute packaged food, to feed my starving children. We also visit other organizations, and we donate to them. We are a 501c organization, so our donors do receive get receipt when they donate to us, so they can file for the taxes. So we do a lot in our community. We have events where we invite our families, friends, play soccer, share, barbecue, have a drink, and just have fun. So those are some of the impact that we have in our community.
Okay. So before you leave, how do the wives, the sisters, the daughters of the VetStar members support the club?
Oh, that's a huge one. Because when VetStar was founded, we had the wives, and significant others in mind,
Mm-hmm.
because we know that they were gonna be a huge role. We leave the house, go out to play soccer. Twice a week, we leave them at home to take care of the kids and do their homework. um so we do understand that they're part of the vet star, and so every year we always appreciate our wives, our significant other, in an event which we call spousal appreciation. We've had boat rides to honor them. We've had parties.
Mm-hmm.
We've given them gifts, to thank them for their support throughout the year. So we don't joke when it comes to that.
To that. Okay.
Hmm.
That's excellent.
David Stars of Minnesota definitely don't joke when it comes to appreciating support from spouses, from sisters, from daughters, from mothers. And that is just the kind of support which a team that is quite immense in the community should get. We're speaking with officials of Vet Star FC of Minnesota ahead of the 2025 edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament. We are live on Apex One Radio, 15 minutes to 11 here in the studio, which should be 9:45 in Minnesota. Right. So back to Bertrand. How large is this club? How many members do you have 10 years on?
So we started with fewer than 50 members,
Mm,
and today we are over 80. And I will say it's one of the biggest, if not the top three in terms of size
mhm.
within the nation of veteran clubs.
Wow.
So in the Midwest, for sure, we are the biggest organization in the Midwest. And at the moment, we stand at about 82 to 83 members, if I'm not mistaken, but we are both 80. I can't really pinpoint. It's just the start of the year, and we have to see those who want to still stay on board and those who don't want to be on board. But we are very, very big, and have bigger operations to keep this big organization going. And there is more people knocking at the door, wanting to come in. We do have a very rigorous vetting system that takes time, and you need to show that you really want to belong before you could be a member of this prestigious club. And that's what we do. And I guess that kind of attracts a lot of people who want to be part of the organization.
I just wanted to find out. You've been existing for 10 years. Do you have members who are still part of the club who were there at inception?
Yes. We do have probably less than 5 that have gone that were not there at inception. So every single person that was there at inception is still with us now. I mean, they are like the real backbone of this organization, and they are able to relate from where we were 10 years ago to where we are now, and to be able to help sometimes, keep the foundation really solid so that our organization can keep on prospering. So for the past 10 years, yes, a majority of our founding members are still with us.
Okay. So you earlier mentioned that there's so many at the door knocking to get in this group, in this amazing group. So what are the criteria for selection of those who will want to belong to the team? And if you are still open to receive more members?
So Vesta is an all-inclusive. To be able to say that we're gonna shut the door is not our approach. But you, as an aspirant, will need to show us beyond reasonable doubt how much interest you have in this club, and that sometimes might take even up to a year of the club monitoring you participating in the activities, coming to their training sessions, going out there and at every event that Vesta is there. Then we know you want to be part of us. If you just come sparingly every now and then you show up, and I mean you have to show up. If we're showing up 100%, you have to show up 200%.
Yeah.
That is just the way it is, and we have a vetting committee that looks into that, and will also make that decision. And you have to also be grandfathered in. When I say grandfathered in, it doesn't mean like you just come in because there were some policies that already applied to you. You have to have a grandfather that will bring you in, and there's conditions for that grandfather. And the grandfather is a member that must have been with the club for at least 2 years. So you cannot come after a year, then you're trying to be a grandfather to a new member. You must have been with Vesta for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
And from there, you can introduce an aspirant who will come, and you will let us know that he has the intention to join. And the vetting club will usually start looking at you, the grandfather. What is your own standing within the club?
Yeah.
That could hurt also the aspirant if they choose the wrong godfather. So it's a whole complex process.
Yeah.
Kingsley, if I'm running an organization that has over 80 people who can kick the ball, that automatically tells me I can carve out at least 4 solid teams from that, a pool of players. How many teams do you have? What I mean is, okay, we can just decide to send a team B or a team C to represent us, and they will still come back with good results.
So we within the club we have 2 teams.
Okay.
And you can put it, team A, team B, and not everyone, is a born soccer player. But at least we know that each time we come to the field, we encourage every member to do some form of exercise,
Mhm.
because again, that exercise is part of our vision, is part of our goal. But yeah, we do have solid two teams that each time we even meet with each other, it's always very competitive, and it's always fun each time we clash.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. So, do you have amongst you some players who have been professional footballers in the past?
Um, yeah, we have a few players who, um, and President, you can jump in if I don't get it right. I know we have a few players who have played in the first division in Cameroon,
Mm-hmm.
um, and maybe some have played abroad as well.
Yeah.
I know that Songbi Joseph is one of them who has played in, if I'm not mistaken, first division or second division in Cameroon.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
We used to have O'Neill, who used to be with us, but he moved out of state, who has also played in the first division in Cameroon.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a few, a couple players who've played professional.
That's
You're listening to Midwest Ball Rolling, edition number 5, reaching you live from Apex One Radio. This beautiful Saturday morning here in the capital of the state of Ohio. It's exactly 8 minutes to 11 here, and we are receiving two gentlemen from Vet FC. Vetstar FC of Minnesota as they await the 2025 expedition, which will take them to Columbus, not just for the galleries, but of course to come and lift the coveted trophy. They'll be competing with 11 other teams. And so, who carries the day is the answer that we're going to get on the evening of May the 25th. And on Apex One Radio, we're doing the countdown our own way. If you're just joining us, this is Midwest Ball Rolling. Marcel Adig is the producer of the show, and in the studio we are two of us. There is,
Shin Tebong.
and of course, Ernest Kanjo. So I would like you to present the boys so we can know them ahead of time. So who are these players? Who plays in what position? Let us know them.
Was that directed to me?
Any of you, whoever
So
wants to go.
you want us to introduce our players? Is that
Of
what you're
course,
asking,
yeah.
Mr.
Just
Ernest?
give us some of these names.
Well, we keep those very. This is a competition, right?
Okay.
And if you do let your tricks out, and then you wouldn't be able to lift that trophy.
Okay.
And as much as you and the spectators might want to hear those names, we keep those really within in-house. You remember we had the champions from Chicago last year.
Mhm.
So this is some of the formulas that we're still using and to try to raise this trophy. So I hope I'm not disappointing your audience,
Not
but
at all. Not
those
at all.
names are they're really classified.
Mm.
They're very classified.
We respect that strategy. And of course, if you were champions in Chicago last year and even hoping to be champions in August at the NVT, there is no doubt about that. All right, beautiful. So tell us about how you train. How often do you train? We always want to know that because, like we've always said, uh, it's hard to dispense time to do stuff like this in a
Yeah.
country that keeps people very busy.
Yes, our training sessions, which is enshrined in our constitution, is every Wednesday and every Friday.
Mhm.
Those are a must, but we also use friendly games to train. Sometimes we do organize friendly games with other teams within the state of Minnesota here
Mhm.
to be able to keep ourselves fit. And the training sessions, especially when you have this competition coming up like this, is more tactical and intense. We do have a physical trainer that at every training session, he will take some time to do all the necessary physical exercises that everyone needs to get their muscles warmed up before they get into before they start playing the game. And this is something that we do pride ourselves on, and we do take seriously. Remember, also playing soccer at the age of 35 plus, your body does not respond like you were 20.
Sure.
So trying to stretch, warm up is very key to reducing the number of injuries that could occur.
Exactly.
And we we do make sure that every every Wednesday and every Friday, the members are at the friendly location, and everyone that plays there right now, we did also we always have insurance that covers people in case of any injury, even going up to accidental death. So yeah, so it's twice a week, I would say.
Okay, perfect. So, for solidarity purposes, we're bringing this announcement again, talking about friendly matches. The Iowa Veterans Soccer Club will be taking on Coffee FC this afternoon in Iowa as part of their preparations for the Midwest Veterans Tournament. The match will be played at 3 p.m. Central Time at 4463 East Oakwood Drive, Pleasant Hill, IA 50327. Right. So if you live in that state and you're a lover of soccer, then you should head to that direction this afternoon and watch the friendly match. Back to our stars of the day, Shin.
So my question goes to the president. Aside from the Vert Star FC winning last year, how many other matches have you won since the creation of this club?
Did you say how many other matches we've won since the creation of the club?
Yeah.
You definitely should be keeping statistics.
Okay, let's go for the statistics.
That is a. Do you mean like friendly games, or like a
Let's
specific
go.
competition, or the matches that we play amongst ourselves?
Okay, let's be specific. We are going to talk about the national matches that you've played and won, and the ones that you've been defeated. We know you're a very strong team. We just want to know how many matches you've carried the trophy and how many other matches you were defeated. Or, yeah, so that's it.
So, in terms of Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Because it's our focus, we do partake in the Midwest and also in the National Veterans Tournament, which this year again is still going to be in Ohio. In terms of Midwest, I will say, honestly, I'm not keeping track of how many games we have won, but to be able to take a trophy just means that you must have won a whole lot. So
Yep.
we keep winning until we don't even keep track. We've been winning so much that even at the national level, I'm very proud to say that,
Yeah.
you know, we're the former holders of the National NVT trophy as well. So
Yeah.
there's been a lot of winning. Like you've heard from the president of the United States, we keep winning. And we to be honest, to say that I know exactly how many games we've played, so many games that
Countless games, of course.
yes, countless games that probably we've won because I want to say this at the national level, the Vesta has never come out of that competition less than the quarterfinals.
Wow.
Oh,
So you for the past 10 years.
yeah.
So speaking of winning games, you can tell from that. And also at the Midwest, I think we came out of the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken, when we hosted. You know, each time that you host, you're unable to really play well.
Yeah.
So Columbus, I don't know, we'll see. And at the Midwest, we did play. We did win a lot of games. Then in Chicago, I don't remember Vesta losing any game.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
It could also be important for us to pick some of the players and talk about them in terms of statistics. Do you have like a player who has had, a good number of goals, like highest scorer, maybe at the national level, or regional level, or even the local level?
We've had our star striker over time who doesn't really play anymore competitive like that because he was the founding president of this darling organization in the
Mhm.
person of President Emeritus John Ufani JJ, who was our star striker and used to bring us, fetch us a lot of goals. Those are the glories that we had as the main person. And we have our captain, who I will say was not like a goal machine, but the maestro of the midfield in the person of, and who is still the captain right now,
Mhm.
Valeria Tanga. And we used to have our sweet 10 shirt. You will hear him now everywhere. They say DJ Kaka. How
Okay.
can a DJ be a Kaka footballer at the same time? This guy was amazing in the days that he used to play really, really competitive football. We have like the my vice president said here. We had O'Neill Bacha Costa,
Mhm.
who was with us until he moved out of state, and was a solid defender. Um, and we've had really, really good players. Right now, you have the likes of this Joe Songbi, who are still in excellent shape, playing excellent soccer. We have our MVP for 2023 NVT. We call him Lukasi. That's
Mhm.
Eric Jingwa. These are just like the machine works of our competition, of our team rather. So even our vice president here, a very solid goalkeeper of our team as well. It's only me, the president, that does more of the ambience and talking without playing much. Um, but we do have some really, really solid players that have been the backbone in the past. And we having all this younger generation in their 35s that are coming on board as we get to 40 and 40 plus. We're giving way for those younger people who want to, really, really do the competitive football. Not that we don't play, we just don't play the competitive part of it like that
Mhm.
anymore. But you still have those solid core members that have been around and that have really, really lifted this team to where it is today.
Mm.
So, to Kingsley, since you became the vice president, can you pick a match that you will never forget and tell us why? One of the matches since you became a vice president, is there a match that will be forever memorable to you?
Um, yes. I mean, there are so many matches that I can, point to. But one of the most outstanding to
Yeah.
me
Mm-hmm.
is when we were in Maryland, the National Veteran Tournament in Maryland. We played against Lanham.
Mhm.
Lanham is a veteran team in Maryland. And the reason it was outstanding for me was because there was this Premier League player in Lanham, Elokobi George, if you know him.
Yeah.
And they also had the likes of the Calesone and a few other outstanding players. So they really had a good squad, especially having a Premier League player in your team, So and this guy, Elokobi George, is also my schoolmate in Sase College. So uh, that was an outstanding game for me. We ended up winning that game
Mm-hmm.
2-1, and it was very competitive. Uh, and we emerged victorious at the end of it. So That's a good one for me.
So what is usually on the mind of your guys when they face a team that have professionals or former professionals who had even played uh, the Champions League? So when you see a Calestone and a Kokobi appear on the green turf, how do you feel?
It's tough, mentally it can be tough, for people who don't have the experience.
Hmm.
You can be psychologically beaten, just by their appearance.
Hmm.
But again, our guys were focused, they were prepared. I remember one of our players, when I told him about a local big George being, a Premier League player, and the guy just told me the ball will play in the field, and that tells you how confident,
Hmm.
he was, and how confident the rest of our players were. They were determined to win, and at the end, they finally won the game. So it was a very good one.
Hmm.
Okay, my next question goes to the president. We know the Red Stars are winners. They are champions. They have been winning over the years. But we would also like to know, and we want you to tell us one match that you will forever maybe hate, or let me just put it this way, a match whereby you came out defeated and that touched you heavily. Is there any match of the sort?
Yes, of course. So there is one really that it hurts when you come
Hmm.
to think of
Yeah.
it. I want to say so, and it's still that very competition in Maryland that the vice president just talked about.
Hmm.
Um, when we before lifting the trophy in Atlanta in 2023, we were at the finals in 2022 in Maryland,
Hmm.
and our opponent was Gwinnett Veterans in Atlanta. They had rested for like 3 games.
Hmm.
We had played like 3 games. The finals was our third game of the day, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken, Mr. Vice President.
Yeah.
And they had rested, and we came into that game, played so well, and they had this one lucky goal that they scored.
Hmm.
Still reminiscing from that game, I've not really put my head to rest. And we were defeated 1-0. And it felt like we gave in all that we
Hmm.
could with all the tiredness, playing an opponent that has not played probably since the day before. And to lose to them when you played so well really hurt.
Hmm.
But still, that's soccer. There have to be a winner, there have to
Yeah.
be a loser. You just, pick up your bags, get ready next time to do better. But that
Hmm.
was the game that was really, really hurting. Has not left my memories.
President Bertrand Monkey and Vice President Kingsley Ayangin recalling some sweet and bitter moments in their expedition so far. The Vet Stars, the current champions, so they'll be defending that title in May when they get to Columbus for the 2025 edition of the Midwest Veterans tournament. We are speaking with a club that is 10 years old this year, which means they have huge experience as far as veteran soccer is concerned. I know the coach is not here today, but you can definitely tell us about coaching this team. Who is the coach and how has coaching the Vets Stars been so far?
I'll let
Kingsley
the
can go.
yeah.
Oh, so our coach is Passy, Coach Passy. That's how we call him.
Hmm.
He's been, very good so far. he's always, present in our trainings. He's, introducing his new style for this year, how we're gonna play. He's always giving, the players encouragement. Right now, we've started our trainings. Like the president said, Wednesdays and Fridays, we are training. We are trying to catch up to speed. You know that. Can you guys hear me?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good. You know that we are just being in the Midwest. We are just coming, out of the winter, and the competition is just, a few weeks ahead. So we're trying to really catch up with trainings.
Mhm.
Right now, our performance is still very mediocre, but we are very confident that by the time we get closer to the Midwest tournament, our coach will get us to where he wants us to be ready for that tournament. So we are definitely putting in, efforts. We are showing up every Wednesdays and Fridays to make sure that we, pick up our speed and get our strength back.
Hmm.
Okay. So, do you take part in other non-veteran activities in your city? Do you take part in other non-veteran activities in your city whereby your impact is felt?
If I understand you well, um, are you asking if we, when you say non-veteran, I don't
We
understand.
know there are
Yeah.
other football competitions, that happen in your area. Do the vet Star FC take part in those competitions as well?
Um, I would say no. We only involve in veteran stuff.
Okay.
We go out for friendlies. Sometimes we travel out of Minnesota to play with other veteran teams.
Mhm.
We try not to get involved in other competitions within Minnesota
Hmm.
that especially does not fall, within the category of veterans. We are uh, 35 plus,
Mm.
and it's really hard sometimes to compete with those guys who are 25, 24. But we just keep it within, the veterans category,
Hmm.
so that we are able to match, our strength and stay within, our age group. So yeah.
Mm. Bertrand, let me come back to you, and I would like us to go back to your track record. So, to get the records correct, how many national veteran tournaments have you won?
We've won just one, which
Just
I will
one.
proudly say it's right now there's 40 teams. So to be
Hmm.
able to have won one within the past 10 years, it's a
Hmm.
very, very huge achievement.
Achievement.
And that was in 2023, correct?
Correct. That was in 2023 in Atlanta.
In Atlanta. Okay. What about Midwest?
Midwest, this is the third edition. The first edition
Hmm.
we didn't win. We were, like I said, we were the host.
Hmm.
That's a good, solid excuse. And the second edition in Chicago, we did
When you
win.
host, you should win.
When you host, you get
Contrary.
busy. You get
Okay.
very busy,
You
and you
get busy
try
with
to make sure
organization.
everybody is comfortable, everything is moving right,
All
and
right.
it's
Yes.
hard to do that and play at the same time.
That's fair
But
enough.
and I can prove that with the statistics. When we went to Chicago, we weren't doing that, so we won.
Mm. So in 2023, you won the NVT. In 2024, you won the MVT.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. How would you assess this performance?
So, you know, we went first of all to the NVT very strong in 2023. Having
Mhm.
played the finals in 2022, we said to ourselves, this is our time. This is our moment. This is the time for us to shine. This is the time for us to grab this trophy. And we did hard work, hard training,
Mhm.
extremely hard training, excruciating, good planning, looking in terms of logistics, in terms of management, discipline. Everything was on point. And we went to Atlanta and we came back with the good results. For Midwest, it was just a spillover from Atlanta's preparation. And when you start winning and you have a mindset of a winner, you don't go into a competition and look anything lesser. So you go into a competition, all you want to do is win. You want to win games. And you take it one game at a time and you just win. And if you keep focused, stay disciplined, you get there. And eventually you can lift the trophy. So that was our mindset from 2023 going into the 2024 Midwest competition.
Okay, we'll get back to the game itself, but at this point, I would like us to get a little bit into management of the club. It's not only a football club, but it's a whole organization, a movement with over 80 people. There is definitely a lot that happens backstage. Talking about logistics, how do you get all of this together, especially when you have a huge assignment like the one of next month and the one in August? So logistically, how do you get prepared for such huge assignments?
So our organization is very, very structured. Vesta does have an executive bureau of 9 members, and we do have different committees that work in the background for the organization. And these committees are all tasked to do different aspects, from the finance committee to the social committee, the sports committee, the equipment committee. Our role as the executive branch of the organization is to coordinate these committees so they are keeping tabs on everything that we need to prepare for the competition. For the sports committee is making sure that the training schedules are out there, and the physical trainer is making sure that everybody stays in shape. The equipment committee making sure all the necessary things from balls to jerseys that are needed are being taken care of. The finance committee in terms of all the money that we need to spend at the competition and a little budget, so they stay in sync with the executive and the committees that are responsible for that event. Right now, it's the sports committee that they work with more in terms of finances and is overseen by the executive. So those different aspects that needs to be taken care of, from the travel to the feeding to the hotel, is being communicated within these committees, and decisions are made and then sent to the General Assembly. So it's a lot of moving parts in the background, but these committees do take care of business, and that's how we work.
Okay. So you talked of how it is managed. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work and probably money. Do you have any partners or sponsors that assist in any way?
At this time, we don't really have any partners or sponsors. Like I said, like the vice president said, we just had our 501c status last year, and our hope is to be able to attract some donors and have some sponsors come our way. And we do try to follow up on some state grants when available, and without which we just do a member contribution and do like fundraising events to be able to finance our organization. And sometimes it does really truly takes a toll on our members in terms of financial funding. But we at this moment, we don't have any sponsors. We hope we'll have one coming on Apex here. They might hear the things that we do and are interested, and they might want to get in contact with us. And again, like the vice president said here, we are 501c. Anything that you give to us it's a donation, and you're able to write that off your taxes. So, yes.
Right, 501c3. So, if you are able to make donations to the movement, feel free to do so and write that off your taxes. We are speaking with officials of Vet Star FC of Minnesota, champions of the 2024 edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament, and champions of the NVT in 2023. And so they head to Columbus this year for another great expedition with the hope to lift the trophy once again, but that will be decided with 11 other teams. If you're just joining us, this is Apex One Radio. You're listening to the Saturday, April the 26th edition of Midwest Ball Rolling. So let's narrow it down to how prepared you are for the upcoming uh, competition. So we're talking about the 2025 edition of the competition. But then, how do you feel taking part in this competition within the Midwest region? Otherwise, what does this competition mean to the Vet Stars?
It means, a lot to us, not just as one of the founding teams of this Midwest, but also as the first host, and also as the defending champions. So we are definitely looking forward to this competition in Ohio. We know it's going to be fun. We know it's going to be competitive. We are, going there to defend, our title. We are going in for a back-to-back, title, and we are really looking forward to that. So it's what we do. We play soccer, and soccer unites us. So we are always looking forward to that each time we have the opportunity. So it this tournament, has a special place in our hearts, and we can't wait for it to get here.
Yeah. We know everything doesn't really run smoothly. There should be probably challenges that you're experiencing at the moment during this preparation. So, what are some of those challenges and how do you overcome them?
Resida, you want to take that one?
Can you come again, please?
Yeah, we know during this preparatory period there are challenges, and we want to know some of the challenges you are going through now and how do you overcome them.
So yes, that's a very good one there because, like the vice president said here, we're coming off of winter, and during the winter we don't have any like structured, um, how would I say it, structured
Indoor.
training that
Mhm.
is club organized. Our members do get involved in indoor activities, but we're looking forward to setting up a whole winter event so that we stay healthy and strong.
Mhm.
So that's the number one challenge is coming off winter and not being able to really uh, be prepared on time. If you notice, like it's still cold right now in Minnesota, and this is a
Yeah.
very short window, like 1 month, to
Mhm.
prepare for a very rigorous competition.
Yeah.
That is the first challenge. The second one is the planning at the beginning of year is usually not easy to have the maximum participation because it's the start of the year. Families, we all parents, and there is a lot of family or engagement as well. To just have one as early as May,
Mhm.
it's usually very difficult. Coming off of winter, you want to do this with the kids. You're doing this. You're moving. You're doing whatever. But if it's later in the summer or year, it might, give people a little bit more time and wiggle room to be able to travel.
Yeah.
So the challenge is having a very, very solid participation. And when I say solid participation, we usually want to come to all those tournaments at least at 80%. And when
Mhm.
I mean 80%, we look at 60 plus people at a minimum,
Mhm.
considering our number. But we're still working right now, encouraging, actually motivating those that are going by, subsidizing a tiny little bit on their cost. Um, those are some of the things that we're trying to do to get over these hurdles. Um, Also, at the beginning of the year, you gotta be careful how you spend your money, right?
Yeah.
You have this challenge of uh, it's the beginning of the year. You got to know your expenses. You don't know what's down the road
Mm.
in terms of expenditure. You don't want to really get caught up in a lot of expenses, considering that this Midwest, what do you really get, and all everything that you get in the veteran is just the pride. Um, it's not the money. So sometimes it might cost a whole lot to get that trophy, but you don't really get much in financial returns. But it is what it is, and that's what we know, and that's what we sign up, and that's what we love doing. So,
Mhm. One thing I do understand is that over time, veterans soccer has become really popular in at least in the diaspora in the United States of America. So, uh, keeping that image of winners, especially at the national level, has always been uh, a big thing. So you are coming to Columbus in May with a title to defend. You are the current uh, holders of that trophy. Is that one of the things that motivates your club? Otherwise, what other motivation are you coming to this year's competition with?
so let me say this: when you are a winner, when you are the current champion of
Hmm.
any competition, everybody's coming targeting you,
Hmm.
and it only makes you stronger. That's the good part of it. It makes you, before you go to that competition, you're very prepared, you're very ready mentally and physically. You have to, so that you're able to defend that trophy and just say it was not by chance. I really did merit this. So at the regional level of Midwest and at the national level of NVT, we pride in being targeted as the
Hmm.
club to reckon with, because in the past they used to just feel like we're a club of gentlemen and they didn't take us serious until we started coming up serious in Houston, Maryland, and Atlanta, where we took the cup. And also it did translate our power when we took the trophy as well in Chicago last year for Midwest.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. They will come prepared for Vesta. The Vesta is always ready, and it gives out a very solid mindset. We go out there, like I said, we just all about winning, one game at a time.
Okay, so I know we are still looking forward to having the official match placings for this year's tournament. I would have loved to discuss, some of the games which you are going to play with you, but there's definitely going to be a second and maybe a third game. Let us talk about that first game which you will be playing here in Columbus. Do you have a forecast already? Are you already thinking of how that first game might look like, if we can put it that way? Kingsley.
So maybe
Well,
let the vice president talk about that first game, especially that they are the ones being in the goal post,
Hmm.
making sure they stop the goals.
um, so yeah, I mean, right now we are not sure who we are going to meet, in our first game.
Hmm.
But being involved in other competition, um, I know our coaches, always have it in mind that you want to take advantage of your first game by winning your first game,
Hmm.
and securing that 3 points, because that gives you the confidence, moving forward. So whoever we're gonna meet, trust me, I trust our players. I trust our coach, our physical trainer. They're doing a great job so far to prepare us.
Hmm.
Whoever we're gonna meet in the first game, um, my take is they're not gonna have less than two, you know. So whoever that's gonna be, keep that in mind. VetStar is coming, and we are not joking this time around. We are coming to
Yeah.
defend, our title.
They are not joking. They are coming to defend their title, the title which they won, picking up the trophy last year from Chicago. Chicago will be here as well. I was speaking with officials of Iowa veterans 2 days ago, and it was the same warning to you and the other teams. So, so as you prepare your weapons, know that others are doing the same. Well, the ball is going to roll on the green turf. Shin.
Yeah. So you earlier mentioned that organizing friendly matches is a way for you guys to prepare. So is there any friendly match you are going to play before coming to Columbus in May?
Yes. I know for sure that our coaches are working towards that. And we do that, in preparations for any of the competition that we have, any of the tournaments that we have within the year. We always, play with other teams to prepare us. We have our sister club here in Minnesota, New Boys, which is also part of this Midwest competition.
Mhm.
We, as always, play friendly games with them. Even for the NVT, we always, play friendly games to get us prepared. We also do play with a Togolese team, a veteran team here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
We also have a I'll say younger team called Gada Gada. We call friendly games with them as well, just to get us, prepared. So yes, we have those lined up before, the Midwest competition, just to, get us up to speed.
Okay. So, for our viewers, we would like to know if you have any social media pages whereby they can go through and talking about the sponsors reaching out to you. So, what are your contacts, information, addresses? So, what do we have for the audience?
President, I'll let you speak on that. I'm pretty sure we still have our website running.
Yes.
Um, and I know it does have a lot of information uh, to, donors if they want to donate. So um, I don't have that at the top of my head. I believe it's vetstar.com, President.
Okay.
I'm not sure. And we can
So,
definitely double check and provide that information to you guys.
oh, okay.
Okay.
I am. Hold on. I just left my screen, so I don't know what I did here, but I'm back here.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we do have a website, vestamn.org. I think that
Okay.
is what it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you.
We also do have like a social media handle. We do have something on Facebook. Um,
Mhm.
our tech guru is not here with us today, but they would have spoken more. Again, like I tell you, myself and the vice president, we are at the top of this management. Some of those questions sometimes, if you ask us, the organization is so big that
Okay.
to go into detail exactly which direction what we do, sometimes we would need to also check ourselves. But we definitely do have a website where there's a contact there that donors can reach us. We also do have social media handles, YouTube, if I believe well, and Facebook. That those are channels that we try to promote our activities there, so that people can see what we do
Yeah.
and contact us. Partner with us in any way, shape, or form. We That is something that we really, really want to do this year. That way, uh, the cost of being a veteran member is so exorbitant, and
Mhm.
it weighs sometimes on the members having to, dip in their hands into their pockets all the time to do the good things that we want to do for the community and for the club and for everyone else. We're very open, and we want to, not just play soccer, but we want to build career. We want to educate people on health. We're looking forward to sponsorship on how somebody can come and talk to us about, getting into 40, you start needing to
Yeah.
do your colonoscopy. You need to make sure you keep your blood pressure in check. The little things that you need to do to stay healthy, be watchful of your salt intake, being African Americans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We also look for sponsorship in the direction of people coming to talk to us about living here legally and how you could, do family reunion. What are the avenues that you could, while you are citizens of the citizen of the United States, use to maybe bring your significant others, your parents, so that they can live with you, because everybody in every family needs everyone in their family. So there are those different aspects that it's not just soccer that we're looking into partnershiping with organizations and getting some funding so that we're able to do that activity. And also within the state of Minnesota, this year we will be doing our 10-year anniversary. If anyone was here last year during the NVT, we're looking at doing something like a mini NVT, where we'll still reach out to the Cameroonian community here, so that we do connect culturally in terms of, promoting our own culture and celebrating with us, and that come July, when we plan to do it. So all that is still partnership of some form and looking for sponsorship in order to promote those different aspects of our community life that we really want to.
That tells us it goes beyond soccer. It also has to do with community development, as the Vet Stars of Minnesota celebrate 10 this year. We're speaking there to Bertrand Monkey, the president of Vet Star FC, and Kingsley Ayangin, the vice president of that club. We're about to run off this edition of Midwest Ball Rolling. Special thanks to you, Mabel Simon, for following us here on Facebook. Pierre Kima, thank you so much for watching. Dr. Phil is always there with us. Hilary Fonui, thank you so much. And thank you to a scores of listeners on apex1radio.com, their tuning app, and of course, Radio Garden. So, in just 5 seconds, Kingsley, tell us, what should Columbus expect to see when you guys come over here in May?
Look, Vesta is one of the biggest, teams in this competition, and I mean, you've heard it all. We were the NVT finalists in Maryland. We were the NVT champions in Atlanta. We were the Midwest champions in Chicago. We were the host of the NVT 2024 in Minnesota, and we were the first, host of the Midwest here in Minnesota. So when you hear VetStar, you have to panic. So we are coming to Ohio, to do what we do best, champions. So, hey, watch out for us. We'll be there, and it
They
will be a
are
fun,
coming
fun
to
activity.
Ohio to do what they do best. Kimsey, thank you so much for accepting to be part of this production. Wish you all the best, and we're looking forward to having you here in Columbus. Bertrand, what are you promising Columbus?
Columbus and Ohio is like Cameroon and Nigeria. I will say that. Columbus, when I talked last year to former President Romeo, we had this game that we were planning to stage between Columbus and Vesta. I told him that Vesta has beaten Columbus everywhere except in Columbus. That is what we wanted to do. We want to come to Columbus and beat Columbus in Columbus. And we still hope that President Valley is going to make that game happen sometime, if not this year or next year. For this competition, if you hear me speak that and we're coming to beat the host in the host city, you know what we're all about, and you know what time it is. Vesta, we don't play. We don't play at all. We're coming there very, very vicious. So get ready, guys. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be good soccer. And we play on the field and we play on the side too, like you can hear me play right here now. And we're coming for it. It's our trophy. We're going to bring it back again.
There will be a lot of side attractions as well. Bertrand, thank you so much. We can only wish you the best as we look forward to the 2025 edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was nice.
All right. Okay, so that's how we are putting a full stop to this edition of the show. Shin and I were your hosts today. So Shin, it's coming to Columbus. Are you anxious as well?
I'm very anxious. I'm even more than excited because I know it's going to be a great game. We're going to meet new people. There's going to be a lot of mingling, discoveries, and enjoyment.
Enjoyable moments awaited Columbus come May. Just before we run off this edition of their show, we still want to remind the people of Iowa that the Iowa Veterans Soccer Club will be meeting with Coffee FC this afternoon at 3 o'clock Central Time. So go to that game and support them. Then tonight, they'll be organizing a fundraiser to unite families through sports. It's going to take place at 170 Northeast 41st Street and Kenny IA 50021. I guess that's the address. So be there tonight to support Iowa Veterans Soccer Club. And for us here on Apex One Radio, we want to wish you the best. Marcel Adig was the producer of the show. We had special collaboration from Finjap Evaristus, aka Capo. And we also want to say thank you to the president of the Columbus Veterans, Valentine Forcha. Well, Shin, I do have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Any plans for the Saturday?
No plans for now, but we keep going. Thank you so much.
All right. Marcel was a producer. Shin and I were here to keep you company. And until we meet for the next edition of the Midwest Ball Rolling, it is bye from this. And do have a fantastic rest of the weekend. And may God bless you.